Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, last week I raised concerns that the glacial pace on improving construction and inspection was not protecting the home or condominium owner. And the Minister of Municipal Affairs responded by suggesting that the last May's wildfire disaster in Slave Lake precluded the government from bringing in new homeowner protection measures as promised. Now, it has been the practice of municipal affairs for some time now to contract out the administration of disaster recovery programs to Landlink Consulting Limited. So my question is to the Minister of Municipal Affairs, what's the real reason behind the snail-like progress on helping Albertans be protected with a single...
Mr. Speaker, I was at our meeting with Municipal Affairs with all of our department staff. There was endless discussion about all the hard work that went in to helping Slave Lake deal with what turned out to be the worst disaster in the province's history. And I think every single person in Municipal Affairs who spent all their time and energy working to help the people of Slave Lake and region work on rebuilding would be very offended to be the insinuation that they did nothing.
The honourable member.
All of your staff work on that? Back to the same minister. There are now too many examples of Albertans being assessed huge amounts in order to make their condo or house livable and safe to list in 35 seconds. But I'd like to know why the minister won't implement an interest-free loan fund for folks that are faced with massive special assessments for substantial repair costs related to shoddy construction.
The honourable minister.
Mr. Speaker, that may be something we could consider down the road. It would be inappropriate to discuss that before we finish passing the budget because we can't really start to spend more money, at least until we pass the budget. In the meantime, as I've said before, we're working with homeowners in this province on a home warranty program, on extending the term limits for fines and limitations so that we can make sure that we protect home builders and they still have avenues through the courts to make sure that they can deal with those people, those construction practices that have left them with inappropriate housing.
Honourable member.
Well, let me follow up on that with the same minister. Given that the government has had policy recommendations in its possession since April of 2008, and the former Minister of Municipal Affairs had first began revealing details of this forthcoming legislation as early as the fall of 2010, 3 different sittings ago, what exactly is the minister's excuse? What is the actual problem here that this ministry cannot move on this?
The honourable minister.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, I get to answer the question again. As I said before, we have very limited staff in municipal affairs who were distracted a bit by a crisis situation in Slave Lake and region with the fire. But in the meantime, Mr. Speaker, we have done extensive consultations, past ministers have as well, with contractors, with builders, with homeowners, with banks, to make sure that we get the system right, because it's not just about enforcing new homeowner warranty that could drive up the costs and drive out new home purchasers. So we make sure on this side of the House, Mr. Speaker, that we do appropriate consultation with all stakeholders to get it right the first time.